Hi everyone, this is Miss Granger. In this video, we're going to decode the English Bill of Rights declarations. So you're going to be annotating on your paper, however your teacher has decided you're going to do that, and follow along. So this document was written by the English Parliament, or the English government, in 1689, and they were really cranky with the king at the time, James II, and so they wrote some complaints about him and also what they wanted to happen. So these declarations are what they wanted. So let's start with this first one. It says that the pretended power of suspending the laws or the execution of laws by regal authority without consent of Parliament is illegal. So first, let's put a circle around this phrase, pretended power. We can translate this to just mean authority, so that the pretended power or the authority of suspending the laws or the execution of laws, let's put little brackets around this, so suspending the laws or the execution of laws. Suspending just means you're stopping, so stopping the laws or the execution of laws. Execution in this context just means upholding the laws. So stopping or upholding of laws by regal authority. Regal authority means the monarch's power. So that the authority of stopping and upholding the laws by regal authority or by the king without consent of Parliament, this governing body, is illegal. In other words, they really had to have the consent of the government, Parliament, in order to do laws. The second one says that the pretended power of dispensing with laws or the execution of laws by regal authority, as it hath been assumed and exercised of late, is illegal. So we already translated this above. So again, the authority of dealing with the laws and upholding the laws by regal authority, that the crown, as it hath been assumed and exercised of late. Exercised of late is another way of saying done lately. So the way you've been doing things lately is illegal. All right, the third declaration, that the commission for erecting the late court of commissioners for ecclesiastic causes and all other commissions and courts of like nature are illegal and pernicious. Commission in both contexts here just means group. So the group that makes or establishing the late court of commissions for ecclesiastical causes, which is essentially a court of law for religion, and all other commissions and courts of like nature, so similar, are illegal and pernicious. Pernicious means harmful. The fourth one says that levying money for or to the use of the crown by pretense of prerogative without grant of Parliament for longer time or in other manner than the same is or shall be granted is illegal. Levying money means raising taxes. Pretense is an attempt, and prerogative is a right. So raising money for or of use to the crown, which is the monarchy, the king or queen, by attempting this right without the grant of Parliament, the government, for a longer time or in any other manner than the same is or shall be granted, this is just kind of a lot of words, is illegal. Can't raise money just for the crown because the monarchy wants it. Next, we have that it is the right of the subjects, and the subjects are the people, so it is the right of the people to petition the king, meaning that they can submit a formal request to the king, and all the commitments and prosecutions for this petitioning are illegal. So in other words, you can't get in trouble for telling the king how you feel. Our next one says that the raising or keeping a standing army within the kingdom in time of peace, unless it be with the consent of Parliament, is against the law. A standing army is a military that's always around. So actually we in the US have a standing army or military because they are always employed. They're always kind of on duty in a sense. But having this standing army, unless it's a time of peace, there's no war, it was against the law. They decided that you could not have this standing army. That was not right. The next one, that the subjects which are Protestants may have arms for their defense, suitable to their conditions, and as allowed by law. We already talked about how subjects are the people, Protestants are that branch of religion. Arms are weapons. So they're saying all Protestants, all regular Protestants can have weapons for their defense. Next, that election of members of Parliament ought to be free. So I can make an inference that before this document, elections were not free in some sense. And so Parliament wanted this process to be more open. Next, that the freedom of speech and debates or proceedings in Parliament ought not to be impeached or questioned in any court or place out of Parliament. So whatever is said in Congress or in Parliament, speech or debates or proceedings, anything in government, so they ought not to be charged with misconduct, is what this means, or questioned in any court or place outside of Parliament. In other words, what happens in Parliament stays in Parliament. It's not coming outside of that. Next, that excessive bail ought not to be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. Excessive means too much, and bail is money that you pay down to kind of get out of prison. So too much money to get out of prison ought not to be required, so we don't want that. Nor excessive, again, too much. Nor excessive fines, again, money imposed or in place, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. We're not doing anything that's too crazy and ridiculous punishment-wise. Next, that jurors ought to be duly impaneled and returned, and jurors which pass upon men in trials for high treason ought to be freeholders. So jurors, like juries, people who sit on juries in court, ought to be duly enrolled for jury duty, meaning there's like an actual process. And jurors which pass upon men in trials for high treason, so jurors who are involved in cases of high treason, ought to be freeholders. And freeholders in this context means owning land. So in order to be on a jury where you're trying someone for treason, you ought to be a landholder. Almost done, that all grants and promises of fines and forfeitures of particular persons before conviction are illegal and void. So grants, promises of fines and forfeitures, this really has to do with money. So any money that is owed before someone is convicted of a crime are illegal, not okay, and void, not relevant. Finally, our last one, and that for redress of all grievances or problems, and for amending, adding to, strengthening, making better, and preserving, saving of the laws, Parliament ought to be held frequently, so that they can discuss that. So this is essentially saying there should be a regular schedule for Parliament to meet. That's it for this video. You should have been taking notes along with me on your document. Please see your teacher for next steps.